It is
Thank
so
you.
happy to have you on today. I heard so much about your story, and I am just delighted that you've taken the time to come and speak with us today. There is a lot of everything going on in the world right now with COVID, and everybody needs hope. They need to know that there is an answer, but you have to believe in yourself and what you believe in your God. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask you, tell us your story. Tell us your amazing story today. You got the
Yeah,
floor.
well, what I want to do is I'm going to give you a little background of to who I am and
Good.
how I got to here as of today, which is quite different to where I assumed I would have been, this day if I had to predict, 5 years before where I would have
Hmm.
been. But of course, I'm from St. Lucia, just like you are,
Right.
and I've lived in the U.S. And I'm back in St. Lucia. I've had the opportunity to live in different parts of the Caribbean as well.
Hmm.
So about 4 years ago, I returned home after the passing of my sister suddenly.
Hmm.
And, I decided, well, instead of trotting all over the globe, working and so forth, why not make St. Lucia my home base, which is what I did.
Hmm.
And last year, I was getting ready for my 50th birthday, which is
Wow.
a big deal. Yeah, right?
Half century. Half
I
century.
started the year with so many plans, thinking, okay, I'm gonna try to do better with my diet. I'm gonna be more consistent with exercising,
Hmm.
because it's a big birthday. So I thought I would be the healthiest I could ever be
Right.
at 50, but that was quite the contrary. For whatever reason, you know, um, trying to get healthy then turned out, to have the medical ordeal that I went through
Hmm.
from April last year. And as I mentioned, because of certain restrictions, I can't go into full details. However,
Right. Right.
it certainly wasn't something that I had planned.
Hmm.
I ended up leaving St. Lucia, heading to the US without even knowing, in a coma.
Wow.
My medical situation could not be dealt with here in St. Lucia.
Hmm.
And so I was flown there, and 3 weeks into, I guess, my time in Florida, in South Florida, I woke up trying to figure out where I was.
How long were you
You
in the coma for then?
Sorry?
How long were you in the coma then?
I maybe about a month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I was hospitalized here from April 4th, and I was taken over on April 21st, and I was already in an induced coma by then. And then when I got up, it was sometime in May. Actually, it was in and around Mother's Day. Yeah, it was in and around Mother's Day. The crazy thing about it is, I think the first thing I was really aware of, which is so crazy, is Meghan Markle having a baby. That's the first thing that I can remember
Right.
hearing. So, which is, I think, was in and around Mother's Day.
Hmm.
And I remember opening my eyes and looking around and asking, where am I? You know? And
Hmm.
then one of the ladies came in and she, explained where I was. And she said that my aunt was with me.
Hmm.
But my aunt normally comes to the hospital around 11 o'clock.
Hmm.
So, it was, trying to adjust, trying to understand,
Hmm.
uh, and I will say that I was sort of in denial for a few weeks
Hmm.
as it relates to what was happening around me. Because I remember what the last thing was when I was in St. Lucia,
Hmm.
and I couldn't figure out how I had gotten to Florida. But anyway, um, my situation was such that I was in ICU for 3 months. And then I came out and I spent another month plus in regular wards,
Hmm.
and came out in August. And when I came out, I had an ileostomy bag, and, just
Hmm.
a whole bunch of medical challenges.
Wow.
And my surgeon said, that there was nothing they could have done for me initially, and that I had to wait about a year.
Wow.
I said, okay, I was trying to be optimistic because the attitude is everything,
Oh,
right? And my mom had undergone cancer treatment. And I mean, at 78, she looks amazing and she
hmm.
was always upbeat.
Right.
That's what I knew.
Hmm.
So, what was really amazing for me through that experience, it was like every few days I had friends coming from all over the world to visit me.
Wow.
So I learned a lot about friendship at that point because I
Okay.
had friends just coming because they didn't want me to be alone.
Hmm.
My aunt left and people were just coming to visit me from Turks and Caicos, from North Carolina, from Washington, DC, from
Wow.
Maryland, from Houston, Texas,
That
just
is why it's so important to keep in touch with your friends.
Absolutely.
It is.
And I try my best to do that because
Mhm.
my friends mean I don't have a lot of friends, but everywhere I have lived, I have friends.
Right.
You know, people, one or two people that I've developed close relationships with. I had people coming from the British Virgin Islands. My former boss came to see me. My former HR director came to see me. And so there was always something
Oh,
going
it's
on.
good. Wonderful.
I always had
Wonderful.
company. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I left the hospital and I was thinking, okay, Nadine, one more year before they can do anything for me
Mhm.
to get rid of the ileostomy bag and,
Mhm.
you know, and for me to have a normal life. Even if my surgeon doesn't think that life will be back to normal as I knew it before that incident.
Right.
However, uh, you know, as normal as it could be, right?
Right.
So I went out positive and I was thinking, okay, whew, a year, okay, but don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just
Mhm.
keep going. Had a lot of medical challenges. I would go into renal failure. I was in and out of hospital and so forth. But the great thing is, it happens that my boyfriend lives in Florida.
Mhm.
And so when I left the hospital, I moved in with him and he took care of me. So that was
Good.
just, you know, another great
Mhm.
um, undertaken,
Right.
undertaking, sorry.
Mhm.
But yeah, so in and out of hospital, going to my surgeon, and he keeps telling me, well, you know, minimum of 9 months,
Wow.
nothing can be done.
Mhm.
Just keep it up. I had home care. I had a nurse coming 4 days a week to give me special IV treatment
Right.
because I go into cramps, body cramps that I had never even known existed. I didn't even know I could have cramp in my head and, you
Wow.
know, in my neck and in my jaw. And I mean, it was just
Right.
crazy, but I just kept saying, okay, don't dwell on it, just keep going, just keep
Mhm.
thinking, just keep doing what the
You had
doctors
that
say you
positive
should do.
mindset. You had a great
Yeah.
mindset. That's it.
And I really had to. I
Mhm.
honestly really had to because when I reflect on it now, I'm thinking, wow, where did I get the strength and the energy? But
Mhm.
even during that time, just backing up a little bit, when I was in the hospital, I was in touch with my priest here in St.
Mhm.
Lucia, two of
Right.
them. And because I was struggling,
Right.
you know, I was struggling and I would
Mhm.
say, I need help.
Mhm.
You know, I can't focus. I
Right.
can't even, I mean, not even the Our Father, which I say every day of my life, could
Mhm.
I even say, focus on to say. But anyway, I kept going and in and out. And then by December, the surgeon, when he recognized that I was having all of those challenges, he said, you know what, Nadine, I'm going to try to see what I can do. It's going to be very risky. The surgery is
Mhm.
going to be 8 to 10 hours.
Wow. 8 to
But
10 hour surgery.
yeah, but
Wow.
he recognized that I had already maxed out my medical insurance because you know in St. Lucia they only give you $1 million EC dollars. I
Wow.
had maxed that out and I owed the hospital. And so he said, and because I was just going in and out of hospital and
Mhm.
I just could not get my kidneys, you know, to normalize,
Right.
he
Right.
said, let's see what I could do. So I was even more excited. So that gave me something to look forward to.
Mhm.
uh, Christmas, you know, I try to have the best Christmas as I could. Miss
Right.
my family. It's so funny because so many times I don't spend Christmas in St. Lucia.
Mhm.
This time I cried on Christmas Day because I miss my family so
Right.
much. You
And you know,
know,
in the islands, family is everything. You
yes,
know, we have big
absolutely.
families. I know your family, my family. I'm the first of seven, and we just everything is family.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and so, you know, so my surgeon, he was working with me and then I started doing pre-op procedures, you know, a whole bunch of CAT scans and x-rays and blood work and so forth. So he
Right.
had said, let's try for January. So this was December and I was like, wow, okay, January, you
Mhm.
know. January came and he was like, I still need to do more tests. And I'm thinking, oh my God, all right, okay, Nadine, you know, a little setback, don't think about it. So finally, you know, after a lot of tests and so forth, and him having discussions with the surgeon at the hospital, he
Mhm.
said, let's go March 10th.
Wow.
I was like, whew, okay, we finally have a date,
I mean,
March.
can you imagine looking forward to surgery? Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Oh my God, because it's the simple things in life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was looking forward to be able to do was
Hmm.
to go to a restaurant and have a meal
Right.
and not have to go to the bathroom
Hmm.
5 and 6 times or even
I
4 times.
know. Jeez, man. You
You know,
know,
I mean, just every time I ate, every time I drank, the
you know.
typical output for a person with an ileostomy bag is about 500 mLs a day, and I was
Mhm.
at like 4 or 5,000 mLs a day.
So you weren't maintaining nothing. So
No,
you must have been
which is why I
extremely
was having problems.
dehydrated.
Yeah, which is
all the
why
time.
I had to have the home care and so
Hmm.
forth.
Right.
But you know what? I just kept saying, okay, the time is going to come. And when March 10th came and I was leaving the house to go to the hospital, I was like, wow, that came so quickly. You know, and I was thinking, I remember when I thought that was so far away, so
Right.
far.
Right. Hmm.
I mean, the surgeon explained all of the risks.
Hmm.
And I remember one time he saying to me, you know, Nadine, you know, that you could die from this
Wow.
surgery.
Hmm.
There's so many complications with
Right.
your
Right.
situation. And I said to him, I said, you know, Dr. G, as I called him,
Hmm.
uh, I said, I have people praying for me all over the world.
Right.
I said, I'm going to be fine.
There you go.
He said, the stress is on you, on him, not me.
Well, that's
And I
what most,
said, sorry, we're praying for you too, you know?
well, most doctors say that during surgery, half the battle is the people that they're operating on. If you
Yeah.
know you're going to be fine, that mindset, you're going to be
Yeah.
fine. But if you're struggling, then you say, boy, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Lord, when Lord help me. No, no, no. You have to believe. And then you have great faith because of your religion and
Yeah.
that mindset. You just, I mean, an incredibly, incredible person. But go ahead. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead.
And you know, no. And it's the people for me, like I tell everybody, and I've been thanking everybody since I
Mhm.
came back home. You know, thanking them for the prayers.
Right.
Because so we went into surgery March 10th, and in fact, surgery was only 5 hours versus the 8 to 10 hours
Eight
that
to 10
he
hours, right?
thought,
Hmm.
right? And I mean, the day before, the church here was praying for me. There was a retreat,
Wow.
and the priest asked everybody to pray for me.
Hmm.
And the next day they had the second day of the retreat, and the priest came in and he told me that he was looking everywhere for my mom. He was just looking everywhere for my mom because they knew I had the surgery and they wanted to know how I was doing.
Right.
And then when my mom said the surgery was a success
Hmm.
and that I was up, oh my God, everybody started praying.
Wow.
I still have a little bit of recovery to go. I mean, it will take about a year
Right, right.
to settle down and so forth, and you know, not going into all of the medical stuff, but you know, I still have some time, but I'm doing everything the doctor said to me. The
Right.
squats that I'm supposed to do,
Hmm.
the walking that I'm supposed to do,
Right.
watching what I eat.
Hmm.
So you know, so I've been doing a lot of that. So I spent a month in the hospital. It was COVID time, so nobody could come to see me, believe it or
Right.
not. I
Hmm.
was, thank God, for WhatsApp and FaceTime and all of
Hmm.
those things.
Yeah, yeah.
It made communicating with my family really easy and me not feeling alone. So I would spend a lot of time just walking.
Right.
I couldn't eat for months because
Oh,
I was, you know, just
all
nothing was
liquids.
safe on my stomach.
All liquids.
No. When they tried to give me liquid one day, oh my God, I was vomiting and it was just crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
So it was ice. Trust me, now I don't want to see ice because I'm so tired of ice, right? I don't want to
Right.
see ice chips or
Hmm.
ice, you know. But you know, so the surgeons came to me and he said, Nadine, one more day, you
Hmm.
would not have been able to have that surgery because they shut down in like
Can you imagine? Yes. That was I mean, again. You just lucky.
yeah. And I know I told him, no, I'm blessed. I said, you know, because God, I said, God is a good God. He's looking
Hmm.
over me, you
Hmm.
know. And that,
Because
I mean, oh,
because you believe He'll take care of you.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You
Wonderful.
know, absolutely. You know, I'm even when I was going through all of my challenges, the one thing that I made sure that I did was to go to church whenever we could.
Hmm. Hmm.
It didn't matter if I felt weak on a Sunday morning.
Right.
I'm a practicing Catholic. My
Hmm.
boyfriend attends a non-denominational, but for me, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I would go to the non-denominational and I would go,
Still,
and he
still
would go
God.
with me to the Catholic church because
Exactly.
I wasn't driving. So I was dependent on him
Right.
whenever he was not working on a Sunday.
Hmm.
We would go to church because, you know, God has been really good throughout my life.
That's.
I was a child who was born without a dad because my dad died of leukemia
Mhm.
when my mom was 6 months pregnant with me.
Wow. Hmm.
You know? But he has shown that he was always there. I remember
Oh,
growing up
yeah.
and worrying about, how am I going to pay for college? How am I going to go to
Hmm.
college? You know, he worked it all out for me with
And
scholarship.
always faith. Faith.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And yeah. And I remember, you know, I grew up in a house filled of prayer and faith.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother wouldn't feed me in the morning if we did not say our prayers.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, and she used to be able to hear whether, you know, we had a
Yeah,
two-story house, and if she heard my steps and I came downstairs too quickly, the first thing she said, "Did you say your prayers?"
yeah.
And if I didn't say my prayers, I had to go back upstairs to say my prayers.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been saying my prayers every morning from the time I was a kid,
Yeah.
and that just, you know, when you teach kids you know, at a young age, what they
Right.
say,
It's imprinted. Yeah.
exactly, you're right. So that's what I was taught, and that's what I continue to do.
So
I
that's where
go
your faith.
work out,
I'm sorry. That's where your faith came in. You came from
yeah,
that.
I
That,
work out
that
at 5 a.m. in the morning, but I'm not leaving this house unless I say my prayers.
right.
The workout will wait,
Right. Right.
you know, because I recognize, I'm a believer in God. He's been good to me. I
Right.
try to live my life as best as I can, but of course I'm human and I
Nobody's
slip
perfect,
every
right?
now and then,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's my faith. I allow my faith with all decisions. Um, I try to take my time and I try to put it forward to him,
Right.
for me to get that sense of whether it's a right one or if it's,
Mm-hmm.
not a good one, even if the timing may be off.
Right.
And but for me, it's really believing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really believing, and really having faith. I mean, my sister was even more religious than
Right.
I am or I was.
Mm-hmm.
And she always used to say, "My gosh, Nadine, I don't think I've ever met anybody who has more faith than you."
More
And
faith.
because I would just take chances. I would, it was all about chances. That's why I lived in all those different places
Right.
because
Right.
an opportunity would be presented to me, and I would say, "Okay, well, I'm going."
Because you
I
trust
would find
you
it.
trust that little voice within.
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
I listen to that little because I meditate. I'm big into meditation, and
Hmm.
whenever I'm faced with not really a problem, I need an answer. I spend time with myself, and I
Yeah,
release it. Okay,
yeah.
because I'm an avid reader. I read a lot, and
Hmm.
I read about Buddhism. I read about all different faiths, but the basic premise is that belief.
Yeah,
Whatever
absolutely.
you believe in, whatever you call it, I say you call it God, Jah, whatever you call it. I mean, universe, cosmic. It's the
Well,
universal power, that God presence, And the other
yeah,
thing, whatever you put, they say, I am. People say, well, maybe. No, I don't say maybe. Anything that you need, I am.
yeah.
I am going to be fine. The I am principle. That's
Yeah,
called
and
the
you have to
God
also,
principle. Yeah.
remember that even if sometimes you won't get what you want,
Mm-hmm.
you won't get what you want, and you have to deal with it.
Right.
I've learned that through the years. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I have to say to myself, be careful what you ask for.
That's
Because
correct. Mm-hmm.
when I started last year, I said, Lord, I'm going to be more consistent with my exercising. I'm going to do much better with my diet
Mm-hmm.
because I would like to lose at least 20 pounds.
Right.
Right? I was like, I'm turning 50. Maybe I could lose 50 pounds because I was really overweight
Right.
from just not taking care of,
Sure.
my
Yeah, life
diet.
gets in the
I
life
always
gets in
worked
the way.
out, but, I love sweet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least 20 pounds. I lost 60 pounds in this
Wow,
process.
wow, wow,
I
wow,
ended the year 60 pounds
wow.
um,
Mm-hmm.
lower than I was when I started the year. And I said, maybe I was not specific enough when I told him that I wanted
Right.
to lose weight, right? I wasn't trying to have a medical ordeal to lose the weight,
Right.
but I did. And now I'm comfortable. I said to him, when May came going through, I was still in Florida, and I
Right.
said, Lord, you know the medical bills that I have to pay, which weren't covered by my insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I would like to start working in July. I said, I think I'm going to be ready to work in July. I will feel stronger.
Mm-hmm.
My mental capacity or abilities will be, where it was before this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ready. And in June, two companies approached me about doing work, asking me, Nadine, are you ready to work? And I was like, what? Are you kidding? Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. I'm
You,
ready to
you
work.
you put
July
it out.
1st,
You put
I
it
start
out there.
work.
You put it out there. That's
Yep.
what I want, and I'm gonna get it. I'm just gotta
Yep.
wait for it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So July 1st, I'm working.
That is fabulous.
Yeah,
That is faith. That is great faith.
yeah, and I'm so challenged by the people who don't believe in God.
No, trust me. I can
He's
build. If you
good
watch
to me.
some of my things, I believe resolute. I can do anything that I want in my life.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
know, I mean, I mean, I went to college, I've got all my degrees, but you know what? I decided I was not going to work for anybody.
right.
And I don't work for anybody. I never had a job. And I've had more successes in my life than I can even think. I've had
Yeah.
some downturns. That's fine. But what I
It's
always
not
say in
life
life,
to make you better.
you never lose in life. You only learn. Something goes wrong, even in your situation, all the medical cases situation that you have, you say, you know what? I am not going anywhere. You
Yep.
decided I'm going to live. I'm going to live from a place where You know, hey, if I like, what's his name? Steve Jobs says, everybody's gonna die one day. We all
Yeah,
gonna die one day. So why not live? Why
exactly.
not live? Exactly.
It's funny because while I was going through this situation, when I was still in a coma, I guess I had an experience where I was talking to my sister
Mm-hmm.
who's passed.
Right.
And having this conversation with her, and I was saying to her, you know, I said, only God knows. I was telling her, only God knows. I said, because mom just lost you. I
Mm-hmm.
can't imagine that he would take me too,
Right.
because then mom would only have boys and both of her daughters would have been gone.
Right.
And she just then disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I remember that well, after talking to her, that I had to get to this a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, but that was just part of my subconsciousness, right? Or
Right.
whatever I was dreaming during that time. But I needed to go through this tunnel
Mm-hmm.
by 3:45, and I remember it was like a slow process, and then I went through at 3:45, and
Wow.
then just saw this bright light,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess that's probably when I was woken up,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because all I saw was this bright light.
Wow. Wow.
So for me, even when I was having the challenges after I came out of hospital,
Right.
I kept saying, you know what, there's a reason why I'm on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
God, I was like, God, you've taken me this far, I know
Right.
you're going to take me beyond where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that. I
Right.
knew, and even today I would say, I know you have a plan for me, and I just ask him for me to discern his will for me,
Right.
so that I live my life, and I do what he expects or what he would like of me.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, because again, by sharing your story, it gives people hope. That,
That's what
I'm
that's
glad
what
you
I'm
came on
doing.
because it's hope, it's belief. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm here for a reason. Why am I on this earth? What is my reason? Like a lot of people ask you, what is your why? I know what my why is. My why is to share to the world to give value.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have helped me in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I gave a talk last week to a group of actually it was a Catholic group. It's a group that all these men which had they lost jobs and people were hopeless. They just felt terrible. And I spoke about the myth of the self-made man. There's no self-made anybody. It's a myth. And most of them were wondering, well, everybody thinks that. He said, no, nobody's self-made. Everybody had help. I went to university, I went to college. My coaches, my alumni. I was saying to them that I even went to the Mormon church with my coach. He was Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
He's Christian. I'm a Christian. So, it doesn't matter where you go. I still went and I still prayed. So the belief system that you have is really ingrained. It's ingrained in me too from a little boy. Because I grew
Mm-hmm.
up Catholic, going to every Saturday going to catechism, going to confession. I mean, I went through the whole process as a Catholic. So it's ingrained. So hearing you really solidifies the fact that faith has a big deal with us growing up, and you grew up with it as a little girl. It's still in you. It will never go away.
And
Because
I mean, for me, I've had, like you, so much help, so much support. I
Mhm.
mean, in that experience, there are some things that I recognize. Like I've learned to be a lot more patient, because I've never really been a patient person per se. Like I can be really impatient,
Right, right, right.
working with people who like to just drag. And I always say that's the American um,
We are
elements
thinking.
in my life, right? Where
Mhm.
we're always in a hurry.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
but I've become a whole lot more patient.
Right.
My faith has gotten a whole lot stronger.
Mhm.
I appreciate my friends a whole lot more.
Right,
So friendship, yeah, and I mean, I think I'm a great friend. At least I work hard to be a really good
right.
friend to the
Mhm.
people who I call my friends.
Right.
And so it was quite a learning experience.
Mhm.
And I just want to add that I'm Catholic, but every Sunday morning from 6 to 7 o'clock, I watch Dr. Charles Stanley,
Right.
who is with the Atlanta Baptist Church,
Right. Mhm.
every Sunday morning, and I read his daily devotions every
Right.
day. Because for me, it's not about religion, but
Exactly.
as long as you believe in God and I believe in God,
Mhm.
I will always be a Catholic.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Sure.
For
Mhm.
me, I'm comfortable going to a church that's not Catholic, as
Right.
long as,
Mhm.
It's about God. It's not about bashing other religions, but
No, no,
it's
no.
about God.
That's what I'm saying. I study, I mean, because like I said, being an avid reader and I speed read, so I know I can read a book in a day or less. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll read two books in an evening because I speed read. And
Hmm.
I you know, being someone who's always progressive in your mind, I want to know because I have a good friend who is a Buddhist, and he's a
Oh.
practicing Buddhist. He
Hmm.
doesn't kill an ant. You hear me? If an ant or let's say a roach is in the house or something he finds, he'll try to catch and bring it outside. Whereas we grow, we step on it, right? But he said, no, 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 don't kill it, don't kill it. He will pick it up and take it and put it outside.
Yeah.
He will
Hmm.
not kill it, not an ant, a roach, I mean, nothing, no insect. But that's his philosophy.
Yeah,
And I,
that's God's
and I
creatures.
respect, there you go, I respect that. So I've
Hmm.
got to the point right now when I see an insect or something that maybe see a bug, and the first thing we want to as kids, you want to squash it. No, I try to get a napkin, pick it up, and I put it outside now, because I learned that from him. Because all life is important.
Hmm.
All
No,
life is precious.
like for me, I don't know. I don't like spiders. I don't even like to see cobweb.
Right, right.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's something from my childhood growing up. I don't know
Right.
what it is. I
Hmm.
don't like the smallest spider. I just I can't help it. I'm sorry to say that I will kill the spiders. Yeah, and then I kill them and I say, God forgive me
Forgive
because
me, right?
I don't know. It's just
Well,
I just
some things, yeah, some
I don't
people
know. They
feel some.
scare me. They scare me. My heart beats faster when I see a
Right.
spider.
Spider.
I don't know what it is. I just
That's in
yeah.
your other life. That's in your other life. You
Yeah.
were attacked by spiders, right?
I don't know what it was,
Yeah,
no, what it
yeah,
is. But yeah, not like I said, not even cobweb. But cobweb will touch me and I'll freak out. Huh?
right,
Yeah,
right,
I don't know. I'm trying to overcome that though. I'm really, really trying to overcome it. But
right, right. Yeah, yeah. Well, all life is precious. All life is precious. You know.
yeah,
But great. I mean, your story is just a tremendous story. And my sisters told me about what you've been through, all the medical, being in a coma for 4 months, being in you were in a hospital for almost a year, being hospitalized, going
well, in
in
and
and
out,
out,
in and out. Yeah, 4 months consistently. I was in a coma for about 4 weeks.
right?
4 months in the hospital
Hmm.
initially, and then in and out the hospital after. And then when I had my last surgery in March for a month.
And look at you
And
now.
ever
You look
since
at you.
I've been out.
Yeah, look at you. You don't even look like anybody that had been sick. You don't look like anybody that had been sick. You look radiant, and everything else.
I, in fact, I met a guy this morning and he said, "Is that Nerdin? Are you
Mhm.
Nerdin St Rose?" And he said, "Oh my God, you look so well." And
Yep,
I said,
you
"Yeah,
do.
I feel good."
Yep. From what Deanne
And
said, my
that means
sister
it's
said to
not
me,
really-
I mean, I said, I was just wow. She said, Martin, you have to interview her. You have to hear her story. And I'm so happy that you came on. And
that
so
good.
if you have anything to tell anybody about going through anything in their life, what can you tell them? What can you tell them?
Just believing, have faith, believe in God,
Right,
not in people,
right. Not in
in God,
people.
and
Right,
stay positive.
right,
Because, I remember reading somewhere that 60% of it is attitude, and it
right.
really is. It is really true.
Hmm.
Because trust me, I would get up and I would be walking down the hallway and I'm moving from one side to the next because my head is light and stuff. And
Right,
then I
right.
was trying to I'm walking to the kitchen to get breakfast, and I would just keep saying, "Okay, Nadine, shake it off and just keep going."
Keep going.
You know,
That's
it's really attitude and it's faith. It's a
it
lot
is
of
so
faith
true.
in
It is so
God.
attitude is everything.
Oh,
I talk about
absolutely.
attitude so much. I talk about mindset because I'm a
Yeah,
big brain kind. I believe, like I said, I believe I can do anything that I want to do. Just to
yeah,
tell you that the fact that I've never had a job could tell you my mindset. Okay,
yeah,
I've never had a job, and I don't have a problem saying it. It's not because I'm
yeah.
lazy. I'm the most dynamic person that I am.
Yeah.
When
No,
the
you have a job. It's just that it's not a traditional job.
Right, exactly. I have to feed my family. I've got to
Yeah,
figure out a way when the speaking career, speaking business just disappeared for a while, I had to figure it out.
yeah,
I reached out to my friends. I'm going to see everybody's doing video, everybody's online. So I say, okay, fine. Let me do my YouTube studio, my YouTube channel, and then build again. And then from that, I mean, there's so many ways you can do it.
yeah.
You
And
just cannot give up. You cannot lay down.
yeah, and I know COVID is hard on a lot of people,
Oh,
and it was
man.
such a sad situation because
Hmm.
here in St. Lucia, we lost tens of thousands of people
Hmm.
who lost their jobs.
Oh, yes.
But it also is such an opportunity for us to reinvent ourselves, to be more creative.
There you go.
Technology is not expensive anymore.
No, look at Zoom. Zoom is free.
Yeah.
You know, for one-on-one, Zoom is free. If you have more than 3 people, then you pay. But you can do Zoom all day long. There's several companies coming out, like Google right now. Google has Google Meet. They're trying to compete with Zoom.
Exactly. There's Windows.
There's Windows,
Microsoft.
there's everything, man.
Oh,
There's everything. But I like Zoom because I'm used to it. But
yeah.
it's just the fact that there's technology and
Mhm.
everything you need to find out, you can YouTube it.
Yep.
Everything.
Oh,
Cannot
that's what
wait
I do.
out.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I do.
Anything
I'm
you
always
need to
on
find out.
YouTube. Yeah.
Exactly. You just
Last
go
week I
to
was
YouTube.
checking my windshield wiper blades, and I'm like, okay, let me YouTube how to clean my. Look at the video.
There
Yep.
you go.
And
There
I
you go.
keep going. I do. I
Yeah.
mean, I search for everything on YouTube. I mean, it's
Right.
the reason why it's the second largest
Right.
social network anyway. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. But now is the time where people have to reinvent themselves. You cannot sit around and feel sorry for yourself. You have to reinvent yourself. You have to learn, teach yourself things. Take that time to educate yourself. You know,
Yeah.
like Warren Buffett says, when everything is going bad, people have to get greedy. You know,
Yeah.
when people are going left, you got to go right. Right? Exactly. You got to think that way. You have to think that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a couple of times I remember feeling sorry for myself, and then I would have to just pep myself up and, and so, a couple of people once said to me, oh, Nadine, you're probably not dealing with it. And I'm like, trust me, I am. Yeah, God is helping me. I don't, I saw a couple, I had a couple treatments at the hospital with the psychology department or the
Hmm.
whatever
The
department.
mental, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, just to help me because I was having a lot of anxiety and,
Right.
and so forth. But it's and I just pray about everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had a friend of mine. If you look at what some of my video, I had a gentleman, Dr. Carlos Garcia. He's a psychologist. I,
Mm-hmm.
I had him on. He's part of my. I have a mastermind group. He's part of my
Oh,
mastermind group, and he came on and I asked him, how do you find people are coping with COVID? He said they are not. He said, a lot of my patients are not. He said, I have to counsel them all the time, let them believe, think differently, think outside the box. There's no box. You got to think outside the box. People have
mm-hmm.
lost jobs. People are depressed. They don't know what the future is like. And because if you had a job for 20 years, let's say, and all of a sudden they've retired you after 20, 25 years, that's all you know.
Yeah.
So now you
Oh,
have to reinvent yourself. You still have a mortgage to pay. You got your car note to pay. Trying to
right.
figure out you got a few dollars saved. What do I do? How do I maneuver?
Mm-hmm.
Some stories that like, wow. I
It's
mean,
not easy.
all of us are not strong. All of us are
Yeah,
not strong.
exactly. Yeah. But I think if we just spend a little more time believing, I
Mhm.
mean, it can be easier said than done.
Right.
But one day I was so fed up with my job and I just decided to quit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not taking any more of
Mhm.
that yes.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My family was like, what are you going to do? Oh, what? Are you kidding?
I'm gonna
God's going to
figure it out.
provide.
I'm gonna figure it out. That's it.
Yeah, he said, ask and you will receive. And trust me, I asked. And in 2 days, I was on a plane to another job.
There you go.
I was like,
Yes.
yeah. So
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
continue to ask him and I continue to receive. And
And
I'm
you've got
also a very good giver. I love to give. I think I prefer to
exactly.
give.
That's where it comes back to you. That's why it comes back to you. Exactly.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
share your
Yeah.
knowledge. Well, great, man. I'm so happy that you shared your knowledge with us today. You shared your knowledge to the world. I appreciate you. I wish you all the best, man. Honestly, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
That attitude, you said, I am fine. Not I'm gonna be fine. I am fine. That I am
Yeah.
principled. I
Yeah.
am
Oh,
fine.
absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly. You know?
Absolutely. And I have to tell myself that. And, for me, the biggest challenge was starting to work out again. I used to
Right.
walk almost every day in Florida,
Good.
but here,
Good.
of course,
Hmm.
it's mountainous, right?
Right. Right.
I've enjoyed that. And I
Good.
feel strong and I feel good. And
Hmm.
yeah, I may get up every day I get up, I have a different feeling, but
Hmm.
I just shake it off and keep going.
Still here. You're still
Yeah,
here. What you
exactly.
went through, trust me.
Yeah.
I mean, you have that. Woof,
Yeah.
you're not going
And
anywhere.
gratitude, I practice a lot of gratitude. I mean, I thank God for the smallest thing,
Right.
the smallest things. It's
Oh
yeah.
yes.
All right, mango, I'll thank you. I thank
Hmm.
you for every single thing that I get. Oh, I'm
You're
given.
thankful for. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you could not have been here. You could have been gone, but you're still here. So you got
Yeah.
to be in gratitude every day. I live in gratitude every day.
Yeah.
Every day I get up, the first thing that I do is thank for the day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a statistic
Right.
I talk about sometimes. You know, in America, 1 million people don't wake up every day. 1 million
Oh.
people never wake up. That's a
Oh,
statistic.
really? I
That's a
didn't even
good
realize.
statistic. 1 million people never
Wow.
wake up. And we woke up. So what are we be fearful about? Just live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
You know?
I complain a little less now for certain things.
Right.
Yeah, you know, because I'm just so much more conscious of,
Right.
you know, that.
Of
So
living.
I spend, you know, more time.
I never complain.
If
Nerdin,
I complain
never.
about the rain, if it rained, I would complain, oh my God, why is it raining today? Oh, no. Oh, I love
You
it
need the
when it
water. You need
like,
the
okay.
water. Right.
Yeah.
We need the
Exactly.
water. The
Yeah.
dams are dry, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Find a way to be
The
positive.
garden needs the rain so we could look lush and beautiful.
There you go.
So
There you go.
yeah. So I don't complain about those things anymore.
Well, Nerdin, I think you said a mouthful. I appreciate you. I thank you for being in the think tank today. We wish you all the best. I mean, I know you're going to be fine. I have no doubts in my mind.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's
And
my
thank you for
pleasure.
including me.
I'm sorry?
Thank you for including me.
Oh, it's my pleasure because you have a story. This story is phenomenal, and I hope somebody will benefit from hearing your story of not giving up, of being resilient, and having faith and believing. Most of all, believing in your.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Because you know, I said, Lord, if me going through this is going to draw some people who don't believe in you to you, then it was well worth it.
Right, exactly. To pass it along. Great.
Yeah.
So I
Thank
wish
you
you
so
all the
much.
best. And like I said, I always say namaste. God bless you.
Namaste.
And